All right, welcome to the 66th episode of the Revolutionary Code, where we bring the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America, Africa, and the diaspora. I am your host, Brother Tamani Mwandani out of Houston, Texas. I am the direct revolutionary product of Mount Cardinal and Bayou Chewy out of the Shrines of the Black Madonna, and the indirect revolutionary product of one Albert B. Clegg Jr., African name and title, Jaramogi of Abiyajiman, the father of liberation theology and the founder of the Shrines of the Black Madonna. I am also the founder of the Black Gold Nation movement. Good evening, Brother Mike. And my co-host, the chief consultant of the Black Gold Nation's National Political Strategy and Implementation Department and the Adult Education Division for the Black Gold Nation. He's also the chairman of LACE, Liberation Advocates for Community Empowerment, the intellectual gangster, corporate grassroots revolutionary. I should start saying the corporate grassroots revolutionary, and master domino assassin from Shreveport, Louisiana, AKA The Boot, Brother Craig B. Lee. Brother Craig, how you doing this evening?
And since you had Robert Nesta Marley on before we came on, in Robert Nesta Marley's words, I'm Irish!
Well, all right.
Brother. Yeah.
Awesome. So before we get started this evening, really quickly, as always, the Black Gold Nation movement, we're trying to get Black people to do something. Brother Craig and I are not just here to entertain you and not just here to make you think. We're trying to get you to do something via that edutainment and that thinking, that critical thinking. So every single thing we say and every single thing we do is about bringing our people together to find the right people to actually do something that matters. And for us, the only thing that matters is the building of power for our people so we can protect ourselves and do our own thing as we see fit. So we are here to inform, educate, motivate, mobilize, organize, and build. Tonight's show title is The Reality of Purchasing Land to Build a Town/City and a More Practical and Realistic Approach. The reality of purchasing land to build a town/city and a more practical approach. So we're going to begin tonight's show with a brief video about a group of Black people who came together to buy some land. We're going to watch this brief video and then we're going to come back and talk about it. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and we're going to jump into it.
Hear that? That is the sound of freedom. A lush and rugged expanse about 130 miles south of Atlanta, just shy of 97 acres. It's undeveloped, unincorporated, and it has new owners.
It feels amazing. It feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Renee Walters is one of them. She's president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. It's a collective of 19 Black families who recently bought this land. This dream all started a few weeks ago during Renee's typical morning call with her friend Ashley Scott.
She said, Ashley, did you see the article about Timsboro for sale?
It turns out that the entire small town was never for sale, just a bundle of a few dozen homes and buildings. So Ashley, a real estate agent, looked for listings in the area and found one for this.
And it was just such a beautiful piece of land. It was affordable, and it just made sense that we could create something that would be amazing for our families.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
It really was when we saw what happened with Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the protests.
We both have Black husbands, we both have Black sons, and I was starting to get overwhelmed and have a sense of anxiety when my husband would leave the house to go to work.
So watching our people protesting in the streets, while it is important, and I want people to stay out in the streets, bringing attention to the injustices of Black people, we needed to create a space and a place where we could be a village again, a tribe again.
Oh, we got two students.
So Renee and Ashley reached out to family and friends, and together they bought what they intend to name Freedom, Georgia, a new Black city.
We don't intend for it to be exclusively Black, but we do intend for it to be pro-Black in every way.
Jessica Gordon-Amard is an economist and an expert on Black collectives.
I've found tremendous benefits to individuals, families, and the communities that are involved in it, including, the economic stability and prosperity, but also leadership development, social capital development, other kinds of human capital development. And so it's really a win-win for everybody involved to be involved.
The owners hosted the Big Black Campout over Labor Day weekend. Supporters drove in from across the country. The plan is to introduce farming next, create a lake for sustainable fishing, facilities for recreation, and eventually develop a fully operational, expanded city.
By being able to create a community that is thriving, that is safe, that has agriculture and commercial businesses that are supporting one another, and that dollars circulating in our community, that is our vision. And to be able to pass this land down to my children and to the children that are represented by each of our 19 families as a piece of legacy. We're hoping to create legacy.
Victor Blackwell, CNN, Wilkinson County, Georgia.
All right, so that was the video. We're going to jump into our analysis of the video and just have a frank conversation about it. So we want to make sure that everybody is clear on why we are having this conversation. We're not trying to make any Black person or any Black group feel bad about pooling resources to buy land for cultural, economic, safety, or legacy reasons. All of that is righteous, and we can most certainly dig it. But what we are saying is that there is a better, more practical, more realistic, and certainly less costly way to do that. And that's what we want to discuss tonight. And tonight's show, we already have the next 3 shows laid out, and they build upon, all of our shows are connected in some way, obviously, but these next 3 shows most certainly build upon one another as it relates to the point that we're trying to make. So, Brother Craig, what's the first thing that comes to mind after watching the video? The first thought per the realistic outcome of the goals of these 19 families. What's the first thought that comes to your mind?
I applaud the desire to be unified, but the first thing that came across my mind, especially when she referenced Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, the fear factor that now came into producing idealism. Mm-hmm. And so, today I had a conversation while we were up at Southwood with our Vice Chairman, Mike Morgan, and he works for the city of Shreveport in none other than one of the most important departments in city government in the world. And every city has this department, and it's the Water and Sewer Department. Mm-hmm. The Water and Sewage Department. And we were discussing something as simple as the clogging of sewer lines. We were discussing the expense of water and sewer lines. And we're talking in a city that's a mid-sized city like Shreveport, Louisiana, that's almost 180 years old when you go back to the campsite and whatnot. You're talking about a place that is old, and a lot of the water lines and sewer line, I mean, for places like this, Chicago, New York, Houston, you're talking, if you were to replace the water and sewer line and then talking about infrastructure like streets, you're talking billions of dollars.
Sir.
Easy. In a big place like Houston, Dallas, you're talking probably about $5 billion, $10 billion. And so if those large cities and Shreveport as a mid-sized city don't have the money to make that type of investment into the most critical, the water and sewer and sanitation, you know, although all the hype goes to police and fire, all of these departments, these services are vital for any city.
Sir.
But try to live without water, sewer, and sanitation. Yeah, I mean, most of us, to be honest, most people never engage the police department. I mean, you living in an upstanding life, you typically are not gonna engage the police department unless you're talking about a traffic ticket or something like that.
That's right.
Most, you know, think about the fire department. Although fires happen, fires rarely happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really sit and think about it. So it's more preventative than anything, but they are the stars of the show. But the two departments that you cannot for one goddamn day,
Right.
let alone a month, 2 months, even begin to believe you can exist or live without water and sewage, sanitation. So these are concepts that those folks had not even thought about. Trust me when I tell you they have not even thought about those concepts. And it's a misnomer when people hear about them creating this Black township, because you see it's unincorporated, meaning it is not inside of city limits, but it is inside. You heard him talk about the county.
Yes.
It is inside. You don't own land in America. I want to be very clear. No matter where you're at, the game that is set up at the state level that trickles down to the local level, they have a game where the government owns the land. And then you basically rent the land by pretending to be a owner of land.
Right.
But what you really are, you're an investor in land. And that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some people should be investors if they have the resources, the discipline to do so. Most people, to be honest, do not.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have the resources, they don't have the discipline, and they don't have the commitment to be neighbors with their brothers and sisters. And so at the end of the day, these are some of your, two of your departments that they would have to, the acquisition of the land is the easiest thing.
That's right.
You're talking about infrastructure like water, sewage lines, sanitation, all that kind of stuff, bro. You're talking right there, you're talking another 20, 50, $100 million.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's one thing that I want to focus on. First is the cost, and you already talked about it with the water, sewer, and hell, the roads, but we'll get to that later. So what is the first thing that has to be done after you buy the land if you want to build a town or a city? What's the first thing you got to do with that land?
You're gonna survey it. Yep. Because you're gonna have to parcel the land up and see how, you're gonna do quarter acre lots, half acre. How's it gonna? You gotta have city planning, bro. But this
Yeah,
is a
there you
very
go. There you go. There you go. That's what I want to get to. Right.
complex process.
Yeah.
So you got to have someone who understands city planning to put all this shit together, man. This is like, I mean, there's a reason why a lot of these smaller towns are dying because, dude, I mean, it's not that simple, man.
So what would be, and I know this is not your forte, but you seem to know a little bit about everything, so I'm gonna ask anyway. What do you think it would cost to clear 96 acres of land? How much do you think that would cost approximately? Just that alone.
96 acres.
96 acres. That's what they had.
Clearing and grading the land.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Getting it ready. How much do you think it costs just to clear it alone?
man, that would have to be over $1 million.
Has to be. And what kind of expertise would you need to do that?
Oh man, I mean, you're talking about individuals who are in the dirt hauling business.
Mhm.
You're talking about individuals who are, expert in taking out trees, the grading of the. You talk about engineers. You're talking about a lot of high-paid individuals just to do that first step.
Right. Just to get it ready. You're talking about multiple millions.
You got to deal with wildlife. There's a lot of things you have to, because, bro, you're talking about in rural Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
There's some creatures out there for sure.
You ain't got no damn wildlife department. I mean, bro, you on your own.
Right. So after we clear it, we got to have the expertise to clear it. And then what you just said, we got to get it parceled up. That takes city planning and expertise. And then we got to get to the roads, running electricity. You've already mentioned the water and the sewage. So just those 4 things: clearing it, that expertise, electricity, water, sewage, roads, 6 things, sewage. What is the approximate cost to do that for 96 acres of land? Just ballpark. What do you think that would be?
Bruh, I mean, just that part alone.
Just that part. Yeah.
Bruh, you talking about 50 to $100 million.
Yeah, 75 million easy. $75 million, easy. Now, I don't know the kind of resources these families are bringing to the table. They could have it. I doubt it, but who knows? So just that part. And one thing that we're going to get into later, I was really struck that the town that they thought was for sale wasn't an entire town. It was pieces of a town, but the infrastructure of a town was already there. But they bypassed that and went to the land. So you've already talked about the unincorporated part. So what kind of costs go into becoming incorporated? What do you have to do that?
See, now that's when I heard that in the video, I'm like, what did they believe purchasing a town would encompass? And it sounds like, since this young lady is in real estate, she must have thought buying a goddamn town meant buying all the acres of land inside the city limit. It sounds like something kind of really naive and idealistic.
Very much.
The town, the city don't own. I mean, the city controls the land, yes. But on record, the people who already have the acreage, they are responsible for paying the property tax. So I don't understand the premise that you're going to position yourself in the county with them, but you could have now acquired the town to establish an immediate tax base, because some taxes are being paid. Obviously, they're probably just going to the county right now, but I would have to really, I would like to talk to them to get an understanding of that dynamic, because that kind of baffled me right there. I don't think they really know what the acquisition of a town, what that really entails, because all it's going to entail is pretty much, especially a small town, a small bit of, you know, land, your downtown area, whatever, and then you get to now assess taxes in the city limits for, you know, whatever, you know, your city limits would actually be. However many square miles. Like we have an area in Shreveport that used to be its own town called the Cooper Road, the Martin Luther King area. It's the largest geographical landmass inside the city. It was annexed into the city in between 1976 and 78. And it's 20 square miles. I mean, it's a huge, Cooper Road is a huge piece of land. And really, it is larger than a lot of small villages and towns and hell, small cities in Louisiana and other states throughout the United States. It is 20 square miles, and it's 99% African American.
Wow.
And I'm telling you right now, brother, even though they are in the city now, they've gone from a population of over 30,000 to now they might be at 10, less than 10. And you got Southern University. Shreveport is headquartered up there. You got 2 clinics. You got KCS Railroad.
Yeah.
You got a lot of land just with 20-something square miles of property. And I don't know how many, if you just said 100 acres, I don't know how much, how that would turn, how many square miles that is. But I doubt if it's larger than the Cooper Road. I doubt it.
Okay.
And hell, they just got goddamn streets in the goddamn 80s. Hey, bro, man, you start talking about canals, ditches for the water. Bro, it's a lot of stuff that goes into
just the drainage alone.
Alone.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, and they got millions of dollars. They're fighting right now for millions of dollars that they have sitting in it's called Water District or Sewer District number 8 or 9. This is money that they have been sitting up on this committee, and they ain't put the money into the infrastructure since the 70s or like the 70s, 60s or 70s.
Wow.
80s, yeah. And they're still fighting for that right now.
Okay.
So this is and hell, we ain't even built one house yet.
Right. Now we've talked about some of the things that you have to do to get the land ready to build that first house. We talked about some of that. Now you and I have had several conversations about the expertise that's required to run a city. As we get into, trying to find more candidates for the leadership election next year, you restructured our organization, departments and divisions, and you created a municipal management, I think is what it's called. But there's a lot of expertise that's required to run a city. So just give us a few of the major areas of expertise and manage you need to run a town or a city? Just some of the major ones.
Metropolitan planning, water and sewage, police, fire, sanitation, public works, the water treatment facility. Water treatment facility is totally different than water and sewage.
Yes, sir.
It's your drinking water.
Yep.
Where are you gonna get your goddamn? What's the source of your drinking water? These are all departments that you have to consider.
Yeah.
Parks and recreation, animal control. What else we have? Accounts payable, accounts receiving, finance, purchasing. Because you have a town, you're gonna be buying goods.
Yes, sir.
And services. You gotta pay electric bill.
So I'm gonna give you a rundown of the list that you gave me, because everything you say, believe it or not, I take notes on everything.
Yeah,
I really do, because when you say something, I'm thinking, okay, we can do that. So I'm taking notes on everything. So this is what you told me, which is really telling, because when most people don't, and this is the problem, Brother Craig, most people don't think about what's required. And you hit the nail on the head, brother, when you said in the beginning, we're so busy trying to run away from stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of facing stuff and confronting stuff, mobilizing, organizing, and dealing with the chaos that you're trying to run from, in our desire to escape from facing these issues, we create more issues for ourselves because we're not thinking. So these are some of the departments that you said most small cities have. Public works, water and sewage, you already said that. Streets, roads and bridges, public transportation, sanitation, law enforcement, sheriff, marshal, police, emergency preparedness, homeland security, fire, metropolitan planning commission, zoning, property standards and code enforcement, airport authority, downtown business authority, parks and recreation, public facilities, animal control, pest roads, etc. Public education, huge. Tax assessor, huge. City clerk, huge. Coroner, somebody gonna die. District attorney, county parish, city attorney, city prosecutor, city court, district court, purchasing, procurement, finance, accounting, investment, economic equity, registrar of voters, technology, human relations, human resources.
Yeah.
So they got the land. Amen, y'all got the land. Good move. But after you get the money to get the land ready to buy a house, to build on the land, and you start making that move, someone has to supervise all of that. Someone has to manage all of it. And if you're talking about your own town or city, someone has to know how to run that town or that city. And I don't know what their plan is. I'm not sure if they have the expertise within the 19 families. It's possible. I doubt it. But that's part of the problem, is that we're so busy trying to run from stuff as opposed to learning how to change stuff, that we end up creating more problems for ourselves.
Yeah, and what's so interesting with Quabbana having run for city council in that town, Stonecrest.
Yes, sir.
See, if you want to do that, you had better do it like that, where they're actually in Atlanta Metro, and they basically created a development in the Atlanta Metro, unincorporated, meaning outside of any of the cities in DeKalb County, and they came in. I can see doing that because it's a drive time.
Yeah.
But you're talking about 150 miles south of Atlanta?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody from Atlanta gonna make that drive. 20, 30 miles, 40 miles, you can benefit from the spillage. You see what I'm saying? You can benefit from the spillage of Atlanta, and you can put some township together. And they got a little Black Wall Street Mall. Hey man, you can do things like that, but bruh, going just straight up in the goddamn country.
Yeah.
And you got to remember now, your ass is in Georgia now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay, let me get the logic of this. You say George Floyd, Arbery, and Breonna Taylor scared you, but you're in the goddamn woods of Georgia. In the woods of Georgia, Ku Klux Klanville. Yeah, bro, you ain't got enough guns.
Yeah, yeah. And that's something else that I thought was kind of unfortunate is you know, this January 6th thing was very real. You know, as we have said multiple times, when they say by any means necessary, they mean it. And again, I don't know what the 19 families are bringing to the table, but you're in Georgia. You don't know what kind of people is going to make a move against you because you Black. You out there, right? And again, I don't know what they're bringing to the table as far as security, but that should be another issue that they're thinking about. Now, another big question after you've gotten the land ready to build on, which is going to be a bunch of money and a bunch of expertise that you have to have. You got to have people who know how to manage the space, which is another issue. Another one is how's the city going to support itself?
Exactly.
So the narrator and one of the sisters, they said they want to establish a farm. They want to create a lake for sustainable fishing, a man-made lake, obviously. They want to have facilities for recreation, agriculture, and commercial business. So a farm, Brother Craig, sustainable farming, sustainable fishing, recreational facilities, agricultural businesses, commercial businesses. What's the projected cost of all of that? Approximately.
I mean, brother, you're talking millions of dollars. Yeah. And again, they're looking at this really from a micro standpoint when you have to look at a town, a village, a town, a small city, a mid-sized city, or a large city. You got to look at that from a macro standpoint. Because when you start talking about the legacy aspect, there's a reason why over these 200 plus Black townships dwindled down to, roughly maybe 30, 35, no more than 40 right now. Mm-hmm. And, most of them, as Naru had referenced, Langston, Oklahoma, you can pull up the demographics of Langston. Majority Black, Langston University is there, but hey, you take away Langston University, I mean, what do you have? Grambling, Louisiana, without Grambling State University, what do you have? Mm. Take away Prairie View University in Prairie View, Texas, what do you have?
Land.
Okay, so the university spawned the township, so to speak. The town was built around those institutions. So, what industry? It is not going to be agriculture, man. I'm almost, and I love Brother Naru. I know you're vegan. Naru can't cook enough vegan goddamn meals to help sustain these cats, because you got about 9 million more damn vegan growing ass people, and it's a unsustainable model that they're talking about. It's a good micro deal for individuals who exist in municipalities where you got a lot of things going on, but man, you're not gonna be able to. I mean, everybody would have to be goddamn grinding on the farming side. Yeah. And old girl, she ain't gonna be grinding because she in real estate.
Yeah. So everyone have to be multimillionaires to bring money to the table to pay for the services that you need to establish and build your town.
Hey, bro, I just saw a deal in Branson, Missouri. I'm gonna have to send you this video. I think I saved it. They had these white folks had this development plan with all these damn mansions. Mm-hmm. and all of them empty. Goddamn.
I saw that. I saw that. It was yeah, I saw that video that you sent earlier. I don't know why the town died, but it's kind of interesting, man. This is like a master plan community. All these nice houses, man.
Master plan community.
Yeah.
Oh, a master plan community for rich folk now.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody in that goddamn town. I just want to. Hey, bro, let me put this in more perspective for you. So a few years ago, we had a big fight here under the first Negro mayor for the city, Cedric Glover. These white folks, two rich white females, their father created a town called Keysville. Their grandfather created a town called Keysville.
Okay.
Their last name is Key, and they're some clans. They're some clans.
Yeah.
So the town came up based on the railroad, access to the railroad.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to do a damn dog park. Follow me now.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me. They rich. So Cedric Glover, we had an amusement park that's been shut down for years now. So Cedric Glover, they were trying to get money from the city. Cedric's like, hey, we ain't gonna give y'all ass no money. But what we will give you, listen to this now, they rich now.
Uh-huh.
They rich. We'll give you the Old Hammers amusement park. Nice ass park, man. Nice, lot of land. This is what he said. We'll give you that park for $1.
Mm.
And you can have, it's $1 lease for 99 years.
Wow.
Now they rich now.
Yeah.
So what you think they did?
I would assume they would take the deal, but I'm sure that's not the moral of the story. So I said the heck with it.
And didn't take the deal.
Mm. Yeah.
And why did they take the deal? Brother Naru, why you think they didn't take the deal? I want to get Naru's input on this. Because Naru deals with all them damn pets over in Oakland and the Bay Area. Yeah, they pet friendly over there. Naru, why you think they didn't take this damn deal?
Repeat that question, brother.
Okay, so you got these two rich white females. They rich. Their grandfather started a town in the southern portion of our parish, our county, called Keysville. Their last name is Key. So we want to do a dog park in Shreveport. So they were trying to petition the city to give them money under our first Negro mayor, Cedric Glover. So he decided that he was not going to give them money, but he would give them $1 lease of a phenomenal park that was called Hamels Park. It was an amusement park. You know, it ain't big like, you know, no goddamn Disney World or no Six Flags and that. But it was a cool little park for Shreveport. So, but it's been shut down for years. But it was nice. So he offered them $1 lease for 99 years. 99 years, they just had to pay $1. They turned it down. Why do you think they turned it down?
It would have cost too much to fix that place up to turn into a dog park. You got to clean out all that amusement stuff. It might even be toxic. You got to do all kind of reporting and everything on the soil. You bring in dogs in there, so you know you're gonna have PETA and human rights. You know, animal rights. Make sure that everything's got to be correct, and they weren't going to really ever own it. They were going to fix it up for them later on, and then it was going to go back to the city, and then they were going to almost get it done for free for them, get everything fixed up for free, and then in 100 years it's going to revert back to the city, and they didn't have to put any money or effort in to fix that place up.
That's good. And also, they were going to have to put in infrastructure for light. They were going to have to put infrastructure in for some water and sewage. You feel me?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean when I say fix it up. You got to do everything that there is for, you know, and not only for the dogs. If you have a dog park, you got to have people there too. So you got to have facilities for them and all that. So, yeah.
the white folks, these are rich white folks. They say, hell no. So why am I using that as a test case? These people here in this area, they to move 150 miles from ATL. And under the premise that they're going to be safe in rural Georgia. I don't understand that concept, but you know, I get it. I understand. But they're running from, in their minds, danger. I don't get that. But Freedom Town and the rich white folks didn't even want to put the infrastructure to do a goddamn dog park inside of the city limits because they didn't want to deal with that cost.
Yeah.
Because the cost was going to be millions of dollars. Right. And so they ended up getting a parcel. I mean, the city gave them a parcel of land, and it's just karma. It's just beautiful. They got a parcel of land on the river, and I think Cedric ended up giving them $50,000. And do you know, to this day, I don't think they've been able to have no dogs walking out there because every time it rains and floods, it's just wonderful. I just love it. I just love it.
All right. So if you missed the beginning of the show, you're listening to the Revolutionary Code, where we bring the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America, Africa, and the diaspora. Tonight's show is our 66th episode, and is titled "The Reality of Purchasing Land to Build a Town/City and a More Practical and Realistic Approach." My name is Tamani Amandani. I'm the founder of the Black Gold Nation, and my co-host is Brother Craig B. Lee, who is our chief consultant for political strategy and implementation, and he's over our adult education division. So, next question, Brother Craig. Again, we want to stress that we're not trying to make fun of Black people who want to pool their resources and buy land. We're not trying to call them, names or anything like that, but we simply want our people to think about what we're doing before we do it, because again, there are oftentimes better, more intelligent ways. So, Brother Craig, what would be a better, smarter, more practical solution if you are Black and you're tired of Black people being mistreated and you want to get away from the mistreatment and you want to be safe and you want to have culture and all this other good stuff? What's a more practical way, something that Black people can do to start making those kind of moves where you can be in control of a municipality?
Take over majority African descendant populated villages, towns, small cities, and mid-sized cities. And because when you do that, you now will get a full course on all of the elements of running a city, running a town.
Yep.
And then, as you gain expertise and commerce and you make connections worldwide, now you can buy 100, 200, 300 acres of land and now start to put some things in. Let me put this in perspective. Let me show you. You know what? I just thought about something. Right. And I feel sorry for these people. And I'm gonna tell you why. I showed you something when you and Lloyd, and it just dawned on. I showed you guys a powerful development that I'm going to do inside the city of Shreveport, brother. Brother Naru, Sister Tyra Jones. And this development I showed you, Tamani, is actually larger than this goddamn development.
Okay.
And it's inside the damn city. And so this is now gonna put this in perspective for you, to show you how they really don't understand. What development was that, Brother Tamani? Do you remember?
Was that the golf course?
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
You remember how many acres
No.
is on that golf?
No, I don't remember that.
How many acres are we talking about with these people?
96.
How many?
96.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
You positive?
I'm positive. Okay, according to the news report, yeah.
Do you know how many acres on that goddamn golf course?
I do not know.
Over 200 acres.
What? Wow.
Naru, you have to see it, brother.
It is awesome. It is awesome.
Naru, it's inside. It used to be, all of this used to be all white area. And it's a country club with over 200 acres.
It's nice too.
And it's already zoned to have homes. It sits in an opportunity zone. That's the other thing that these people don't understand. They're not even a part of an opportunity zone. So there are dollars that they won't even be able to benefit from because they're running from, danger. We're running from the boogeyman. But when you run from the danger, you run from the opportunity. See, I'm gonna stay in the damn danger so we can leverage the money so we can take advantage of the opportunity to acquire this property. And we can I put it to you like this. If we just took 100 acres, good, okay, Lord said you're gonna add something. If we just took 100 of those acres, because it's 200-some acre plot with a phenomenal country club center and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're gonna take 100 and make into the real estate portion of this. Let's do the math. 100 acres, you can divide 100 acres into half-acre lots, and now you got 200 homes. You can divide it into quarter-acre lot. Okay, go from a half down to a quarter, and now you got 300 goddamn homes. The hell with a golf course, you can put you a putt-putt on there. You can put all kind of stuff. And now you fence this whole thing in, and you created an African village inside of a majority African-American city that we're gonna take over. Because I had to put this in perspective, 90-something acres. I'm like, damn, the country club is 200-some acres. So in essence, they really just talking about a small goddamn neighborhood.
Yep.
That's really what they're talking about. A small neighborhood. They're not talking. They're talking in essence. They're talking a neighborhood that's really possibly could become a village.
Right.
That's
Now-
basically what
Now, before I ask you the next question, Brother Lloyd, what did you want to add?
I was gonna say, y'all was talking about the acres, the 100 acres that they bought out there close in Georgia, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So and another thing that they don't even know, I mean, that's a flaw in their plan, is you need like, I think 500 acres to be an official township
Yeah.
or official city. So you couldn't even, somebody that wanted to stop them, they could easily buy the property up around them and stop their expansion and stop them ever even being, meeting the requirements to even be an official city in the first place. Thus, take away your whole reason for doing it in the first place.
Right.
When you could have just took over a township, I believe they got one not less than 50 miles from where they are that already got the infrastructure in place that they could have took that same money and went and done.
Exactly.
Yep. And that is an excellent point, Brother Lloyd. And after I ask Brother Craig this next question, I'm gonna show you exactly why. What you just said is an excellent point. So Brother Craig, the next question is, why is taking over a small village, a village town, small and mid-sized city. Why is that more practical than the way they are going about doing it?
The infrastructure is already there.
Thank you.
You
Thank
already
you.
got, not only do you have infrastructure, the town already exists. It just has to be reignited. So you already have relationship with the federal government in the key areas of rural development. All of these rural programs already exist.
Yes, sir.
All you got to do is reignite it.
I'm sharing my screen to drive home what Brother Lloyd just said and what Brother Craig just said. Now, these are the 10 blackest cities in Georgia. Now, I'm gonna give you guys the 10 black, and again, think about what Brother Craig just said. What's easiest and most practical and more realistic is to mobilize, organize, and take over a village, a town, small city, mid-sized city. So these are the 10 blackest by population in Georgia. Union City, 85% black. Riverdale, 83% black. College Park, which is nice, 79% black. Fort Valley, 78% black. East Point, 77% black. Stone Mountain, better bring some guns, 77% black. Albany, 74% black. Fairburn, 71% black. Cordell, 71% black, and Camilla, 71% black. Now listen to the proximity to these places from Atlanta. College Park, I told you, East Point, 6.9 miles. College Park, 9 miles. Union City, 18 miles. Riverdale, 14 miles. Stone Mountain, 15 miles. Fairburn, 11 miles, and the other 4 are over 100 miles. Now, if you scroll down further, since it is Georgia, it is in the South, you get to cities that are 50% black. There are over 40 cities that are 50+% black in Georgia. So you don't have to go and buy land and start from scratch. Because 1, you don't have that kind of money. 2, you don't have that expertise. 3, you don't have the management skills that are required to run that municipality. And 4, you're digging yourself a hole. So if we simply, like Brother Lloyd just said, and Brother Craig has been saying and reiterated, if we simply mobilize and organize around spaces that are already black, if we take over those spaces that already have the infrastructure, then we can do whatever we want to do. You don't have to necessarily go run away from anything. If you control the political apparatus in those spaces, then that becomes your town, that becomes your village, that becomes your Wakanda. And you can do what you want from there. And the fact that they are in Georgia, and there are, I think of the top 10, I think 6 or 7 of them are within 15 miles of Atlanta. You don't even have to go that far. You just got to mobilize and organize, which is the whole point that we're trying to get Black people to realize. It's okay if you want to take your money, pool your resources, and go buy some land because you want to be safe and you want to do your own thing. What we're saying is that you don't have to. There's a smarter way. There's a smarter way to do it. Go ahead, Craig.
What's so crazy about that? Stonecrest, Georgia, had just got started a few years ago. Positive Black folks.
Yes, sir.
Why wouldn't you?
Upper middle class too.
Yeah, I mean, see, a lot of this stuff, it gets back to the whole, okay, them Negroes did a church, we're gonna go do our own church. That's what really this gets down to, because it's kind of crazy that if Lloyd has already started a town, and Lloyd is a positive brother, they got some positive things. I know I can add some positive things. I got some capital, I got some people. Why would I now go create a competing township when we can all benefit by helping to grow that particular township.
Yeah, just go hang out with Lloyd.
Hey man, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
And then look, let me put this in your head. The project that I'm looking to do on that golf course, I sent you and Lloyd the information on a 17-acre tract of land inside the city of Baltimore. 17 acres. They leverage with the Opportunity Zone tax credit. They leverage over $100 million. I think 150 million to do that development on 17-acre tract. Dude, 150 to 200 million? That'll be like Gucci. Yeah. But that golf course, hey, Lord, we'll have ducks and all kind of stuff up in there for the folks to see on a daily basis, okay? But my point is, dude, y'all ain't getting no $100 and something million to do nothing in y'all little neighborhood. Because that's really what it is. It's a little neighborhood.
Yeah. And again, it sounds good. It's just not the best, smartest move. So we did good. At 9:57, 3 minutes left. Brother Craig, if you could only give everybody who sees this live, who watches the recording, you can only give them one takeaway from everything that we've discussed. If you can only give them one takeaway that they will have with them for the rest of their lives, what would that one takeaway be, brother?
Stop being afraid to compete with these white folks, man. Stop with the damn idealism and romanticism and all of this pie in the sky. Let's deal with reality and let's deal with practical, real deal solutions to help empower our people. And that's the acquisition, mobilization, organization, and the takeover of existing majority melanated villages, towns, small cities, mid-sized cities. And then you gain leverage and traction in places like Houston and Dallas and other places where we got a subsequent substantial African-American population.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you, Brother Craig. Another awesome show. We're about to open this thing up for questions and answers. So Brother Naru has turned his camera on. That means that Q&A has begun. Brother Naru, question and or comment for Brother Craig?
Craig, I know you weren't clowning vegans earlier. I think I heard clowns.
I'm a vegan too, so he's clowning both of us. Naru.
Man. So the vegan life is the most sustainable life, brother. All these animals we got eating up all this vegetation that we have to plant for them. So actually it'll be a very sustainable thing. We'll have more space, less CO2 from all these cows farting and that methane, that cow methane gas is one of the big problems in the world, man. Cow farts ain't no joke. You done seen some of them cow chips out there, so you imagine what the farts is like.
For real, bro. For real.
Okay, I wanted to know on a serious note, that video you shoot, Tamani, that was about a year or so ago, right? I remember that a while back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So have you guys monitored any of their progress? Have they done anything there? Because I remember they had all these plans and I hadn't heard anything. So it was interesting to see you pull that up because I remember when they first did that, but I haven't really heard anything about what they've done since.
I haven't, but I can most certainly check and do some research.
Okay. I think that's pretty much all I had to ask about that. And the golf course thing sounds amazing. Definitely would love to see what's going on with that.
Oh yeah, 200 acres of the white folks just went on and broke camp. They built new golf courses, new country clubs, and so they abandoned it. And it's an opportunity to just sitting up waiting for me to develop.
What was the asking price? Do you remember?
I forgot. I think it was close to $1 million.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, jump on that.
All
All right.
right.
Thank you, brothers.
Cool. So does anyone else have a question or comment for Brother Craig? Oh, Brother Mike, you had your hand up?
Yeah, you guys had mentioned partially about Atlanta. Sandy Springs, which used to be part of unincorporated area of Fulton, they had got incorporated maybe back in 2014, 2015. They had started back in 1975, and they finally got that. Guess who else other entity is trying to form its own city?
Who's
Buckhead.
that?
Buckhead.
Okay.
And I purposely get alerts from them on a regular basis, studying how this thing is done. Now, Buckhead is probably the most wealthiest in Fulton County.
Oh yeah.
And the whole piece is, you know, the one, the Sandy Spring and the Hook, where Fulton County goes into Dunwoody or whatever else, like way out there, and they keep complaining about getting equal services, or complaining that Fulton County only concentrates on South Fulton as opposed to the middle part, you know, specifically Atlanta and up in northern part. So
Yeah.
Buckhead is going that route too. And they may get it, but the thing is, the other piece is in relationship to the land piece. Now you got a lot of these QAnon Trumpsters running for local offices like Secretary of State.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and or individual unit like a county recorder. So in their mind, if I have control over that, I can control the amount of money goes out for advertising, outreach, that whole piece. They can't stop people from voting, but they can have the discretion of utilizing their budget to minimize outreach like that. You know, accommodations that ordinarily people use to get, which makes common sense. So that's one piece. They're going to keep doing that and have individual enclaves until whenever. Anywhere we got a majority Black population, either they've done it or they'll continue to do it, unless they flip that Black community to go along with their program. But I just want to share that.
What happens, Mike, and that's a great point. There's a community here of that's 99% Caucasian, 99.5, 99.9% in Southeast Shreveport, and they have built their infrastructure off the backs of the city. And I'm talking about it's nice. Bro. I'm talking about colonial-like homes. I mean, it's nice. And so they are trying to de-annex from the city. And like I always tell people, I don't have no problem with white folks leaving. Just leave us a check for about $5 billion.
Yeah.
Leave us a check about $5 billion. We'll happily let you bounce, but you're not gonna bounce for free. You're not gonna bounce for free. And so what happens, Mike, in a lot of these places, and it really, really happened in Birmingham. It has happened in Jackson. It has happened in Detroit. Wherever white folks were at and Black folks started to move in, melanated people started to move in, and the demographics started to change. What the white folks understood is like, look, we're not gonna let these Negroes manage our tax dollars, because they're the ones who have so-called ownership of the majority of the home. They have the majority of the commercial property. So they're the ones who are really paying taxes, right? So what do? They go set up little enclaves right there. When I first graduated from Xavier, Mike, and I was hired by Navistar Financial Corporation out of Atlanta, and then they sent me to Alabama to take over that territory. Birmingham was my city, okay? And I lived in what I thought was a goddamn neighborhood called Homewood. That's what I thought. Like Homewood is like Queensboro here in Shreveport or Highlands, you know. I thought it was just a neighborhood. To money, it's a damn city amongst itself.
Wow.
But it was only 2 miles. To money, it was only 2 miles from downtown Birmingham. So what the white folks said, we're not gonna let these Negroes control our tax dollars. Bro, they created Homewood, Hoover, which is where the mall is at. So guess what Negroes have to do? They got to come shop in Hoover. See, the reason that they do this is to erode the tax base of the majority African-American slaves.
Right.
So now you create Hoover, Vestavia Hills, Irondale, Cahaba Heights, where the AT&T buildings are at. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's all in the metro.
Yeah.
If you go back to that list and you saw Atlanta, Georgia is on there with, I think they're number 40.
Number 40, yeah.
And with a little bit over 50% African-American population. But look how many people they got. They only had 488,000. You said, now wait a minute. Atlanta got 5 million people. No, they don't, goddamn it. Atlanta Metro got 5, 6, 7.
It's 488,000.
Yeah, because very few people live in Atlanta proper. Very few. And you rarely gonna meet, when you go to ATL, you rarely gonna meet anybody from Atlanta.
Right.
It's a very transient city.
Yeah.
And so Houston, although it's not majority African American, you see the same thing in Houston with all the other little towns that have been created around Houston.
Yeah.
But Houston has a solid economy. Most of your African American cities, Jackson, the white folks left and created Madison, Ridgeland, Brandon, Clinton, all of these places to erode the tax base. And so that's what's going on, Mike, with Buckhead. The white folks say, hey, this is where your financial center, the epicenter is at.
Right.
So we want to de-annex. We want to be our own goddamn town. We want to control our own resources. So that's the game throughout. But white folks ain't playing no game with y'all.
Right. Hey, Brother Naru, I did a quick search for Freedom, Georgia, and I found a YouTube page. I put that in the chat, and it looks like they're raising money for the city that they want to build. So I don't see anything beyond that. They have a fund. They got a few. They're about to make a documentary. So it looks like they're trying to raise money for what they need to do, but they're gonna have to raise a bunch of money.
Really?
A bunch of money.
Yeah, they probably figured out that it looked good, but he needed a whole lot more.
Yeah, a whole lot. A lot. Yeah.
Everything that we said is, and then I'm looking at one, and they be lying in these articles. One article say they bought 500 acres, but all the rest of them say 97 or 100 acres. And now why did that 500 acres come up? 500 acres come up based on what goddamn
what Lloyd said. Yeah.
They ain't thought this thing through, man.
At all. And again, that's the whole point of the show, to try and get our people to think stuff through and stop romanticizing the reality of what you're trying to do. And you know, if you really want to do it, then shit, do it the right way. And you'd be better off if you did it that way. So any other questions or comments for Brother Craig before we give him his closing remarks? Any other questions or comments for Brother Craig?
I thought for sure Dr. Jones would have commented, because she's doing the development down in South Louisiana. And I wanted her to give me some perspective on that project down there in Gonzales. Gonzales is between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. So, Dr. Jones, you want to give a perspective on that and what your thoughts are regarding this this video?
Nope. Now let me.
The end.
You know, Craig just be calling people out, but I'm gonna say this.
He is good at that.
I am a very private person, and I like to do my projects, and I like to make my mistakes privately. So my project that I have going on in Gonzales is a personal project. I've owned this property for over the last 23 years. Matter of fact, I was pregnant with my daughter when I bought the property. So at the time I was married, it was a family purchase, but it is 2 lots, and I did have to clear it. And I was listening to what you were saying about the cost of clearing property, just 2 lots, it was $2,500.
Yeah.
And I think that was because, the guys knew my grandmother and, and so I think they gave me
You got a deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
So that's, that's pretty much that. So I really don't have any commercial projects that I would like to make public, but I just wanted to share that and and just agree in the terms of the cost. It costs a lot to develop create a city and all of those things. But as being a business developer for the city of Shreveport, I mean, just the team that I know that Craig has put together, and then we're working with these business owners, man, it takes multiple people with various talents, going back to what the list that you gave, Tamani, of all of the departments that you have to have in the city.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
all the professional expertise that's required.
Yep.
You can't bring all of those people to a rural area and expect everybody to be able to live to support the entire area.
Right.
But for me, I can move back to Shreveport and and live and help and do my part and provide my professional expertise in that area. But we just can't, it's not feasible for us to be able to completely start over.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to share.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Craig.
Not only is it not feasible, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
That's the whole point. It's not necessary. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Brother Craig, closing remarks.
Yeah, just want to thank everyone, and again, I love the ingenuity of these individuals, but we got to stop trying to get caught up in being the first, or trying to make news headlines, because they said a very important word, and they said legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And the likelihood that they're going to be able to leave a legacy of success, legacy can go both ways.
Yeah.
Negative or positive.
Legacy of bad decision making.
Yeah, and I would think you want to leave a positive legacy where this project could work, but it has to work in phase. And again, we have enough case analyses to show you how this thing has to be done. Even if you go and look at Malachi York, Holy Tabernacle Ministry, he was located about 90 miles from Atlanta, in a place where some of my relatives are from, in that area, Eatonton, Jasper County, Georgia. And they bought a few acres of land, and guess what? They never tried to get involved in the voting apparatus to take over the goddamn county. I mean the town. I mean, it just. And then so when the people come for your ass, then you mad. You could have taken over the damn sheriff department.
Right.
Got a couple thousand people there on the property,
Yep.
It's something about the Negro that they just don't want to get into the real nuts and bolts to understanding how something works. And all the white folks have done is taken our system.
That's right.
And converted it into their own thing.
Yeah. And
now we look at that as it's the white man's thing when it, in all actuality, it's your thing that they done flip.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just hope we can elevate 2022 and beyond so we can stop running and stand our goddamn ground and take control of some of these cities, make some billions of dollars, buy some. See, and Shreveport is strategically located. So, yeah, we got Shreveport is over 130 square miles. So we are like a top 20 city by square mile, top 20, top 30 city. So, man, you make a couple $100 million, couple $1 billion a year in Shreveport, bro, you can buy property to the north. You can buy property you can go all the way over to the Mississippi border and pick up property all along in between I-20, Grambling, Monroe. You can then go down south of us 120 miles, then go over to our east, because we're right on the Texas border. You can go take over little townships like Wascom, Texas, and Minden. Man, you can gobble up all kind of little goddamn cities and get USDA rural development funding and whatnot.
Yep.
But you don't want to start from scratch when you got infrastructure already in place.
Yep.
Then you can get people from Southern and Prairie Views, these HBCUs, who are already majoring in agriculture and whatnot, get some retired people who already know how to do this to come in and consult you. But yeah, if you start from scratch and you already going to GoFundMe for a goddamn, you trying to sell some plates and shit to raise some money to put some water lines in, like, God damn. Like, hey, can y'all buy some hog malls so we can build some water and sewer lines? We didn't think it was gonna be this goddamn much. And by the way, can y'all we're gonna have a snow cone stand set up next week, because we gotta try to raise the money. Also, damn, we didn't think about, we gotta get the electric company to come out. But then let's just move back to Atlanta. That's it.
All right. So on that note, yeah, as Brother Craig said, we do thank everybody for being a part. If you've seen the movie Godfather, and I'm sure most of us have, probably more than once. As always, we do movie reviews every other week. Brother Craig sleepy, y'all. Our next movie review is not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, and we're going to do The Godfather. And I'm sure, like all the movie reviews, is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So we hope to see you guys next Thursday for the next episode of The Revolutionary Code. And if you are, if you're available the following Saturday, the 15th at 9:00 a.m. Central, 10 Eastern, then join us for the Cinematic Connections for Revolutionary Change movie review, which will be the movie The Godfather. So we're going to go out this evening from a song. I wanted to do it last week, but we didn't have the show. Brother Craig had a Kwanzaa event, so we're going to do it tonight. So in the spirit of Kuumba, we're going to check out a Kwanzaa song that Brother Naru and his daughter did together some years ago. So our outro is going to be to this song. So after this song, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. So as always, I want everybody to remember that no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, of course, everything will get done. And absolutely, always, always, always remember that nothing is more sacred than the liberation and salvation of Black people. So on that note, you guys have a wonderful evening. God bless. And we're going to listen to the song, and then I'm going to close it out.
This is what we call the Nguzu Saba. This is for Kwanzaa, my happy Kwanzaa. Celebrate Kwanzaa for you and for me. Light up the candles and watch the light glow. Kwanzaa, a great time for you and for me. This is for Kwanzaa, my happy Kwanzaa. Celebrate Kwanzaa for you and for me. Light up the candles and watch the light glow. Kwanzaa, a great time for you and for me. This is for Kwanzaa, my happy Kwanzaa. Celebrate Kwanzaa for you and for me. Light up the candles and watch the light glow. Kwanzaa, a great time for you and for me. This is for Kwanzaa, my happy Kwanzaa. Celebrate Kwanzaa for you and for me. Light up the candles.
All right, y'all have a good night. God bless. I'll see y'all next week.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, brother.
Thank you for making it, brother. I wanted to do it last week, but Craig messed it up.
Great job. Great
Yeah,
job.
it's very nice, very nice. Beautiful daughter, man. Beautiful daughter. Thank God she look like her mama, because your ass. I tell you. Y'all be good. Peace.